daughter, she's only 8, I've made her promise that if I ever end up in, you know, long-term care or something, she promises she'll tweeze my chin whiskers for me if I can't do it myself. Is that nice? Well, you don't have to do that because we've got Epilady aesthetic hair. Everybody's laughing at me. True, right? You know, there's some of those ones you just can't reach. Well, we've all got that facial hair issue. You've seen this in all of the magazines because it solves a huge problem that we all have, that excess facial hair, that darkened hair. What else are you gonna do? You can't wax it. You don't, of course, wanna shave your face. This is designed specifically for our faces. This is Epilady. Epilady's celebrating nearly 30 years in business. And Laura Baker, look how easy to see you.
It's so
Welcome,
simple
Laura.
to use. Thank you. So great to see you. And I love that you already have your 8-year-old daughter promising to do the hairs, because we do that to my grandmother as well for her. And you know, the thing is that it doesn't matter our age. From the time that we are teenagers all the way through our 80s and 90s years old, facial hair is a problem for all of us. And it's one of those things that as you notice it, it can be very insecure for us too as women. Well, now we have a long-term result, something that's going to grab that hair out by the root, so it will be gone for 4 to 6 weeks. It's going to do so very quickly, and it's the only item like it on the market from a company we know and trust so well, Epilady, who's been with us for 30 years.
Yes. Now, I do have to warn you, though, that flex, you see you're getting it home for $10. We've never had 4 flex on it before. That's just for this hour, which means you've got about 12 minutes. 12 minutes to get this home for $10 and try it out. See why it's been in so many magazines, why so many beauty editors absolutely love this, and how it works for you. Wherever your issue is, whether it's your little stash going on, whether it's your little sideburns, whatever it is, sideburns and mustaches, I know they're big for men. They are not big for us, ladies, right? And this solves that problem for a long time as well. You get 4 to 6 weeks without having to use this again. So it's a really great solution. And for $10, you gotta get it home and try it out for yourself.
And it's really simple technology here too, because it's battery operated. So you can see right here, it runs on 2 AA batteries, so there's no charging it. It's extremely lightweight and compact, which means anybody can use it. You don't have to worry about dexterity issues. It is literally touch of the button. You slide it up to turn it on, you slide it down to turn it off. But up here is where all the magic happens. So this is your patented coil technology. So I'm gonna pop off this perfect angle guide, and I'm gonna show it to you in a minute. But see inside there what's going on? When I turn it on, that coil, which is patent technology out there, so nobody else out there in the market has something like this, starts to spin. But notice, I can put my finger on it and it's not grabbing my skin. It would just be grabbing those hairs. So you don't have to worry about other things that grab the skin along with the hair, like waxing when you're trying to do it. And then this, I'm gonna pop the perfect angle guide right back on, because this way you know that every single time you use it, guess what? You know that this is doing the work for you. This was actually an upgrade that was built into this system. And so when you put it up against your face and you start to work in small circles, that guide is grabbing each and every hair at the precise angle, so it's pulling it up and out by the root. And it's doing more than, imagine trying to tweeze your entire face, right?
Oh my gosh.
That would be impossible. You'd never be able to do that. But with this, you're getting all of that thick peach fuzz. So your lotions are going into your skin and not sitting on top. Your makeup isn't caking, it's going into your skin on top of it and making it look so much smoother. And that hair, that just simply makes us insecure. So whether it's your sideburns, whether it's the mustache, maybe it's down here in the jawline. When you do this jawline, by the way, everybody's gonna start to ask you, did you lose a few pounds? Because all of a sudden, it thins you out. But it's so simple to use. So you turn it on, as I mentioned, and then all you do is pull the skin, and not taut, just hold the skin, right, like this. And then you work in small circles forward, small circles backwards, small forward, small backwards, small forward, and small backwards. I want you to know that I can feel the hairs being pulled out while I'm doing it. Okay, again, small forward, small backwards. You can even hear the coil a little bit catch the hairs as it pulled them out. But I'm still talking to you while I'm doing it, okay? So remember like the first time we tweezed our eyebrows and we went, oh, I felt that. But now, 20, 30, 40, 50 years later, we're tweezing our eyebrows like crazy. We don't even think about it. The more you use it, the more you get used to it, because it is pulling the hair out by the root. But when it's doing that, you are now getting that smooth complexion that you're looking for. You're no longer having any breakage off, because it's not going to break it. You're going to see the long-term results for 4 to 6 weeks, because when you pull something out, guess what happens? You don't have to worry about it again for a while.
Well, and that before you can see the dark, you can see the darkness underneath, because if you're if you're just getting the surface off, you're not getting the deeper hairs. If you have fairer skin, like I do, or thinner skin, you can see the follicle underneath, but this pulls it all out.
Well, you know, there's so many different alternatives for hair removal, right? But the first thing somebody you would do is take a razor to it, like the guys do, right? The last thing you should do as a woman is take a razor to it for a couple of reasons. One, you know, there is that old myth that your hair could get thicker, but beyond that, when you're breaking off that hair, you're cutting it off on your face, you're still seeing the hair underneath the skin. So you're getting that 5 o'clock shadow, and that's something that we definitely don't want as women.
Absolutely not. Well, this is the only airing of the day. That flex only lasts for about 8 more minutes, and the only reason this only has an airing is because we're so limited in the amount that we brought in. So just last time we aired it, we sold out. This is, we just brought in, we could only get a hold of a limited amount, and so this is the only time that you're gonna be able to see it, the only time you get it for a $10 bill. If you've been curious, they've been around for the last almost 30 years, Epilady, the company, because they solve that problem. They give us that smoother skin, they take away that embarrassing dark hairs, the little, you know, we don't want that mustache. And it's a really easy solution, very simple to use. It's quiet, it's easy, anybody can do it, and it gives you that longer term solution. So get it while it's a $10 bill, and this is the only time that anyone gets to see it on the day.
Well, and you know, the thing about it is that it's great for everybody. You talked about that. So it's great for all women across the board, but it's also wonderful for all hair colors. So it's not like laser where you have to have a dark hair because you're targeting the pigment inside of there. As a matter of fact, I have a girlfriend, Joanne, she did laser, and I've done it too. It didn't work on me, by the way. She did it on her entire body, but she was left with this peach fuzz on her body. And so she knows that I'm the hair specialist here at HSN, and she called me and she went, Laura, I am so lost. What do I do? Because I have peach fuzz everywhere from head to toe, and I spent all this money. And this is what I recommended to her, because this is going to give her that long-term solution. She's not going to be taking a razor to her face. She uses retinol creams, and so when you have retinol creams, you can't use a lot of things on your face because you have to worry about that. With this, you don't have to worry about that because it is pulling it up out of the root. There's no chemicals involved in this, so there is nothing conflicting with each other when you want to use it. There's also no smell, and it's simple and easy to use. You're not sitting there with a cream waiting on your face for 5 minutes and trying to let that soak in and hoping that it wipes away, and then still having hairs left over and behind. Because when you get this, and the coil technology here is patented, there is nothing else out there like it on the market that targets those fine hairs, and only those fine hairs on our face. And we call it peach fuzz, but let's listen. It's not cute. It sounds all adorable. Oh, peaches.
Right. It's cute when it's on a peach.
No.
In fact, our model, Cara, gorgeous model, Cara, has been using it. Yes, she loves it.
She actually sent me a picture this week. I wish I could show it to you. She texted me. She goes, I'm so glad we're having a show because look at my before. And you know, we're the same age, so she's pretty young, and yet she still has a lot, and she's blonde, and you know, and she has all of that, and it's pretty thick, actually. I'm sorry, I hope I'm not embarrassing you, you know, but it's a pretty thick, you know, a lot of peach fuzz going on. So thankfully, she has the show, and she's going to look sexy for the next 4 to 6 weeks, and her fiance can snuggle up and be like, hey, honey, your beard's not thicker than mine. I'm just teasing you. We're good friends, can you tell? I get to joke like that with people you know this well.
I love it. That's a great reason to get it. You don't want your beard to be thicker than your man.
No.
But sometimes we feel like that, and you know, I love that it's portable as well, because the time you notice those hairs is when in the rearview mirror, right? You're driving along, you stop at a light, and you go, oh, where did that come from? I thought I got them all. This is a great way. You can keep it so lightweight. Just keep it in your purse, keep it in your bag, and then you're at light, you just zap it, and you're good to go for 4 to 6 weeks. Such a great long-term solution. I mean, it really is like multiple tweezers. You couldn't just get, I mean, you wouldn't really even be able to tweeze that peach fuzz. You can tweeze, you know, the bigger whiskers, but this gets it all at once.
This gets all of them. It targets the entire face. It doesn't matter where it is that you have those concerns, and it doesn't matter the color of the hair, because it has that patented technology inside of it. That coil is doing the work. But let's say you're doing waxing. Well, you can wax your face. Well, first of all, one wax appointment for your face is the cost of this unit. But waxing rips the hair along with the skin off of your face. It's brutal to me. I have girlfriends who have bruised from it. I have missing skin. I've personally had that happen in years past when I used it. With this, the technology is intended to leave your skin alone. All it does is it grabs the hair by the root. So when you just simply turn it on by the push of a button, let's pretend that these are your hairs, okay? You want to go slowly in the circles, and you don't want to push down hard. And here's why. If you push down hard, what happens? You push that hair down against the skin. You literally want to just glide it right on top, because as you glide it in those circles, it's going to literally like lift those hairs up and out. So go very gently, very lightly across the top of your skin in small circles forwards and small circles backwards, because your hair, by the way, grows in all directions. Now, some people ask what it feels like. We talked about the tweezing. I have a couple of little tips. One, always use it on a clean face, always. In order to use it on a clean face, there's actually a little trick that'll help you. Take a shower first and do it right when you get out of the shower. And the reason why is because when you get in the shower and you have that hot water creates steam, and that opens up your pores. And it allows those hairs to slide out a little bit more gently, so you won't feel it quite as much if you're extra sensitive to tweezing. Number two, if you are still of the age where we're having our little monthly visitor come around, we all know that we have some more sensitive times of the month than we have others. Try not to use it during your more sensitive times of the month. It's that simple.
Everything makes you cry then anyway, right?
I love these shows that are girlfriend shows that I can just tell it like it is, all right?
We gotcha, we gotcha. But those are really great tips. And a lot of times, you know, if you see, people will say, sometimes people say like, oh, it, you know, something, oh, I didn't realize it was gonna, I was gonna feel the hair coming out. It's like multiple tweezers, but like you said, it's much less painful than waxing, and you could never actually tweeze all of those hairs. But that's basically what it's doing.
I mean, who has the time for that, nor would you really want to be able to do all of that either. But that is exactly what it's doing. By the way, it's extremely easy to maintain. You can see the before and after. So you can see that with other types of things, you're going to have that regrowth of hair instantly. You'll have a 5 o'clock shadow in the first day. You know, other things, obviously, we talked about ripping the skin. Some things just wipe away the top of the hair, but they still don't get underneath the skin and get in the root. With this, because it is epilation, and it's from the most trusted epilation company out there on the market, Epilady, who's been doing it for 30 years, or celebrating their 30-year anniversary next year. And you know, they've perfected things along the way. They learn, they hear from us, they get the feedback, and they tell us, you, the customers, tell us how to change it, how to